Hi, good morning. How are you? Great. How are you? Awesome. I'm gonna be the first class today. Good. All right, well, we're probably gonna have a few people, straggling in. There's an Ignite class going on upstairs in the conference room. I know we have some people up there watching that. And it is Education Tuesday, which, is exciting. So thank you guys for coming and participating, and keep in mind that we have, another class coming up at 12 that Dawn's gonna be teaching. So be sure to, stay plugged in for that. We do have with us today 360 Tour Design. We are really, really appreciative of them supplying us with all this yummy, delicious food. So thank you so much for doing that for us. And today they're going to talk to us about how to win the listing. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Greg. He assured us that he's going to have us done just in time for John, and we'll go ahead and give them our attention.
Thanks, everyone. I appreciate it. I used to be the COO at Isaac's Restaurant Deli. That's a big change for a company. But I just have to say, like, when I would do these for our teams, I would put money on the seats up front so we get people up front. So stands true today. Yeah, I should put some money up there. So I'm hoping we can have a really good conversation together today about winning the listing and what has happened over the years with the seller. In most cases, unless you're a very new agent, you're probably too close, as we are sometimes, to the source of what a seller is thinking at the exact moment they're thinking it, and how fast everything is evolving in the computer space. And so that's why we use the word smart home seller, because what is happening is the sellers are learning more and more and more, and things are evolving rather quickly. When I invested in 360 in 2015, one of the things I did was I researched up front. All right, let's see how many people are actually buying their homes online. Anybody know what percentage that might have been back in 2015? 2015? Yeah. 85%. It was actually 64. Only 64. Here we are 9 years later, and we're almost 95%. Yeah, is happening. So that was the beginning of that type of evolution. Now we have all of these people that work at home, and they have extra time on their hands, and they study and they research and they do everything they can to get the best for themselves. And that's what we all do, right? Whether it's going out and finding the best landscaper, right? You might get 2 or 3 bids, or whether it's going out and trying to buy a pool for your backyard, because that's pretty expensive. These folks are selling their house. Well, we all know this. I'm telling you some stuff that you already know. And that is, this is probably the biggest deal of anything they've ever done in their life, and they want to get it right. So gone are the times when it's just nothing more than, I saw a sign in the neighborhood, or, hey, Joe, who did you use, kind of thing. They're going out and they're doing that research, okay? So what we're finding out in 2023, 72% of home sellers interviewed multiple real estate agents. So that's kind of a big deal. We have now a smart consumer that is going out and they are saying, what have you done for me lately? Right? In a way, who is going to represent me best? And they're not, forgive me, they're not looking as much at brands anymore as they are as individuals. We all are individual brands ourselves these days, whether it's social media that John's going to talk to you about in about an hour, or just presenting ourselves. We are our own brand. So that's what I really want you to think about today is, how are you going to build your own brand, whether it's social media, whether it's in person. When you get the call, hey, I would like you to come talk to me about a listing. First thing I want you to think every time moving forward, I'm not the only one that's getting this call, okay? In the past, you might be like, yep, I'll come over, we'll take care of this, we'll get you all set up. I'm not the only one that's getting this call. Very important to think about moving forward.
I actually had 2 agents from way different brokerages call me and schedule an appointment for the same property. Same day, same time. And I was like, what is going on? They were vying for that listing and they wanted to make sure because that seller wanted that day and that time. So they both put it in and then obviously one of them canceled, but it was very, that was the first time that I had ever had that happen and I was like, what is going on?
So let's just look at the trend here for this. This is a quick growing trend. And I said about what I looked at the 64%, how in 9 years it grew to 95%. Look at this trend here, 62, 65, 68, 72 in the last few years here, where people, it is steadily increasing the number of sellers who are interviewing multiple agents. I'm gonna say it again, you're not the only one. Just pretend that, think that, and that's gonna help you better prepare. When you walk in that door, what are you gonna do that's gonna set yourself apart? Okay, not just with your own brand, okay? But also, what are you gonna do? Are you going to just sit down and say, yeah, these houses are selling really fast and no big deal. I use my cell phone to take photos and I know the backyard doesn't look great, but don't worry about it. You know, are you doing that? Because you can, right? And they might pick you if you're the only one, but if you're multiple and you're competing against someone that's like, all right, the first thing you want to do is do an evaluation. I want to walk through and I want to look at everything. And I want to do the best I can to set you up for success. So we're actually going to look at your backyard. We're going to look at what we can do to just present your home and get it ready for those media moments, which are one of the most important things that you do, is making sure that you're marketing your home appropriately to everyone. And so making sure they're ready for that. And what type of media are you going to do? What type of marketing? Where are you going to put that listing other than, yeah, everybody just goes to the MLS, everything's fine, or it'll be on Zillow, don't worry about it. Those kind of things. You need to come prepared with a list of things that you're going to do that are going to be over and above anybody else. But be careful. You don't ever want to point fingers or say, I'm the best or anything like that, right? Okay. People are looking at your personal brand all the time. So when you come in there, you want to be humble. You want to introduce yourself. You want to show that you're there to do the very best you can for them, that you're going to be there for them, to support them through the entire process. That's super important. They want someone that they can depend on. They don't know. You might know as soon as you see that house, this thing's going weak. I know that. You can't really tell them that. And even if you do, they're like, this is the biggest thing I've ever done in my life. What if it doesn't sell? What happens? You know, so just going in and just presenting those types of things can make it uncomfortable for them. And then the next person comes in and says, well, we're going to, not only are we going to do a walkthrough, we're going to put your marketing here or there. We're going to shoot video. We're going to take photos professionally for you. This is how we're going to market your home top to bottom. And to be able to do that in front of them and be able to have them when you walk out that door. And this is a big thing. I'm going to go in a rabbit hole and come back out. This is a big thing that we're doing at 360 this year too, is we are reinvesting in our people in what we're doing inside the home when we're there. Okay. It's important to us that we take care of the client for you. So that when we leave, that client is saying, wow, that was a great experience for me. I'm going to tell everybody about it. I'm going to tell my realtor what kind of thing. It's our job to make you look good, right? It really is. And we are reinvesting in all of that too. But you yourself need to make all of those decisions, or who am I surrounding myself that's going to help me look the best, because you're not always in front of them. So 65% of sellers found that their agent, found their agent through a referral or friend, okay? 65%. So this is still happening, okay? We're still getting referrals. Ready?
I'm sorry.
That's okay. So wait a second. You said 72% interview multiple, and then you said 65% found an agent through referral. That doesn't jive. It kind of does actually, because now what they're doing is they might still be going through referral, but they're going to the, remember, who's not on Facebook? Yeah, I didn't think so. How many friends do we all have on Facebook? I mean, you could just go on Facebook and be like, anybody sell their house recently? There's 4 or 5 referrals for you. So referrals come in all different ways. But people are still interviewing multiple, even if it's a referral. So just because someone gave you a referral, again, doesn't mean you're the only agent. Assume you're not. Very, very important. Okay. All right, we talked about this a little bit earlier, so we're gonna dig into the details. Agent number 1, market's hot. I'm just gonna take your cell pictures. No big deal. It's gonna sell in a couple weeks, right? Put yourself, I wanna just take a moment. Put yourself in the seller's shoes. You're at your most important thing you've ever done. Never sold a home before. You bought this one. It's your first time you're selling. You're listening to someone in front of you. What they say is really important. Agent number 2, market's hot. We want to get you your best price. So we do professional photos. We use social media and we use marketing to drive traffic. Pretty good. Good. Agent number 3. Yeah, the market is hot, and this will sell quickly, but our goal is to drive the maximum number of potential buyers to the home and create a bidding war and get you top dollar for your home. Plus, I can even schedule your media shoots in front of you today. So these are all really important pieces that you're able to do too, because we all talk about that sale, right? But you guys have gone through millions of these classes on you. The person's in front of you, want close, how important that is. One of the things that we do for you is we give you the opportunity to schedule right in front of you. Now, of course, that didn't work out so well for one of those 2 agents there, but it's nice that you can get them through your presentation and say, as a matter of fact, we can get photos done for you in the next 24 hours and we'll sign it pretty big. And let me just pull up the calendar and see what they have available. You pick. Whenever you want. Here's the calendar, you pick. Okay? Which one of these 3 are you choosing? I'm going with agent 3. Okay? They're the ones that are willing to do the most for me. And you should have more than this. I can fill up pages on what you should have and do. And if you're not doing an electronic presentation, you should be doing an electronic presentation. Okay? Now I will say, your phone call is for the 75, 85-year-old human. Maybe you want to print out what you have and be able to go over those a little bit more. So know your client. Know your client. You're going. You got a 25-year-old that's selling their first house already. You should come with an iPad or a laptop and be able to show them a digital presentation. Some of the homes, this is what the photos look like. This is what I'm gonna do for you. And oh, by the way, I just sent it to your email, so I have it in your inbox. You can review it later. I know there's a lot in front of me right now. Okay, super, super important stuff. We know the most challenging thing for you right now is winning that listing. I mean, there aren't that many of them. We're in a different place than we were a few years ago. As a seller also, if you were paying the same commission, who would you choose? I'm sorry, I did that. Sorry, I was ahead of myself. Okay, the importance of quality. Here's some other stats for you. 89% of sellers agents reported having photos as important. Okay, 44%. This is a new stat. This actually went from 20% last year to 44% this year. Video is becoming extremely important to people. They see it everywhere. They're noticing it. Everybody from TikTok to Facebook to YouTube Shorts, they're all pushing short form video. I will say, super important that I tell you this. The attention span of America is gone completely. Okay? That's why I try to keep these short. Not so you don't have great attention span. Again, I researched that in 2015. The average attention span was 28 seconds. That was in 2015. You know what it is today? It's about 14 seconds. And the more we watch short form video, how many of you have TikTok? All right, not so many. Okay. How many of you spend sometimes less than 14 seconds on the, you're like, Oh, that's interesting. You know, you just go, right? You just go, and next thing you know, 5 hours, you're gone.
That's why I don't have to.
Built yourself. I'll get back and forth, I delete it, put it back on.
Yeah.
44% highlighted the value of traditional physical staging. I want to talk about this too, because we're actually coming and doing several lunch and learns with you over the next year. I think we have 4 with you. One of them is gonna be, we're gonna do a whole special thing on preparing for the photographer for you. But really, the bottom line is we're gonna focus on you learning staging skills. Okay, because that's important. Even when you're doing your walkthrough, you should be able to identify and point out things. And we're also going to talk about how to do it with what we call kid gloves. Okay, that's really important because you can't be like, well, those blinds are terrible. We got to get rid of those before we put a sign out front. That's not a good idea. But we teach you how to walk through the house and say, you know, it's very important that we depersonalize, because when a buyer walks in the door, we want them to envision this home as their own, as their future. So it's important that we take down this wall of your family photos here, that you know needs to come down, you know, so we're gonna talk about that specifically and just spend an entire day on that. But this number is shocking to me, because this number is actually going up, not much, but it is going up slightly. And we felt like post-COVID, staging was almost dead, right? The market's down, homes are selling more quickly, you know, we're talking more about what we call light staging. I'm not talking about filling an empty room with thousands of dollars of furniture. We call it more flat surface staging. So what can you do in that kitchen? Because there's 25 appliances to clear them out, right? That's the kind of stuff that we'll talk about and teach you, so that you're able to zone in on it, help the seller be prepared and ready for that. So all of these are super important and should be part of your package, okay? Wouldn't it be great to go to bed at night knowing that you not only got your higher sale or your seller higher than asking, but actually covered your commission in the process? I just feel like I'm not a realtor, and I don't play well on TV. But you know, I would think it'd be great to go to bed tonight knowing that because I did all of this stuff, we actually were able to get a lot more traffic in the house. We were actually able to take that listing price from $299 up to $325. And in the process, I paid for it. You know, I feel good about that. You know, they got what they wanted, and heck, I still walked away with what I wanted. Scenario number 1, you do nothing but picks. Cost you about $170, asking price is $350, selling is $350, gross commission $10.5. Yes, I'm smart enough to know that I only do 3%, not 6%. I know you get half of that. Sometimes you get the 6. Scenario 2, you do picks, floor plans, marketing kit, $15. An open house, I don't know how much that cost you. Traffic skyrockets. You end up with an asking price of $350, selling price of $385, your commission goes up by $1,000. You spent $30 more, $30 to get an extra $1,000. I mean, I got coupons out of Giant. I feel like that's a big saver, really, you know? Good. In the end, when you prepare and you go into the home and you know how important it is to win that listing, you end up at the end, after the sale is made, you got a happier seller, you got more referrals, which we know is important, even though you might be vulnerable. Commissions made above your asking, and you walk away with more dollars in your pocket. Referrals go up because your sellers are bragging about you and wow, what you did to blow them away. And oh, yeah, Joe, I don't know if I'd interview him because I interviewed him and all you're gonna do is cell phone pictures. But Tina, she was amazing and you gotta interview her. So all of a sudden, there's less people being called to the table or more quality people being called to the table because of the train of referrals that then end up coming down the line. Okay? Appreciate you, all of you. Thank you so much. I hope that you got some takeaways today. We're not quite done because one of the other things we're going to do is show you our back-end software with one of these classes. I think it's probably the next one, so that you can get the most out of it. There's a lot of free stuff in there or very inexpensive stuff in there that you can utilize with your presentations. We're now doing reels in there for every home, things like that. But I didn't want to leave without showing you how to schedule. So Dee is gonna go ahead and do that for you now. She'll just take you through a quick how to jump on to our software that you would use from beginning to end and to be able to schedule. So. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dee. I'm the one that you usually talk to if you call. I'm gonna use Julie Hess's. Oops. Portal. If I can spell her name right. Gee. Okay, so when I send out, or when somebody sends out the email to you guys, sharing your pictures with you. The, email has on it. Oh, cause she, I'm on her, sorry, let me go back to me. Okay, so. When I send out email. There is a link on the email that shows you, that you can go in, I'm trying to show you the email, give me 2 seconds here. Okay, so at the bottom of the email that you receive is access your account. If you hit on that, you will receive, log in. If you don't have a password with your portal already set up, just contact me and I'll send you your password. And it'll be a temporary password, and then you just, change it, obviously, because you want it to be what you'll remember. But a lot of people don't go down in the email far enough. They go right to download your photos, and that's as far as they get on the email. So nobody knows that you actually have your own portal. So in your portal, once you log into it, in your portal, and I'm gonna pretend that I'm Jolie. Right here up at the top, it says order a photo shoot now. You just click on that, and then you can put your location and square footage in, and then you can pick a date and time that the seller wants to have the photos done. If the date and time that the seller wants is not showing, call me immediately. Hopefully I'm available to answer. I mean, I answer 95% of the phone calls. Sometimes I'm on the phone, so I can't. But I try and normally during business hours, I try to call you back within the next 5 minutes as soon as I'm done with my call that I'm on.
If you please just pick a random address, my house, your house, whatever, just kind of show them the whole way through it. Please, thanks.
So if you don't have an account, do you just go onto the website and hit like schedule something?
You could also just go online to 360tourdesigns.com, and there's a button right at the top that says schedule with us. That's the quickest, easiest way to do it. But we wanted to show you, we didn't want you to be intimidated the first time you jumped on there and were like, what is all this? So we wanted to walk you through. Because the more questions we have and details we have, the better we can help you.
So then you're gonna put in the address and then the square footage, because you can't go any further until you do that. And then you pick what the square footage is between, and then you pick what you're getting. And then down here, you're gonna select your photographer.
So this is a new feature too, so if you have us take photos for you and you're like this, I just absolutely love this photographer. I want him or her every single time. You may do that. We have that set up for you, so.
Or you can do any available.
Yep, and then, now I will tell you, if you choose a specific photographer, there's a lot of times it may take the schedule might be out a little further. We're normally able to get you within 24 hours. If you're going with a specific photographer, it might be up to 48, that you can choose, so.
If you don't see your time in the ones that it shows you, then you just open the calendar and you can go ahead and pick your time. And then once you pick your time. I always said skip billing. And then you need to agree to their arrival time and, it thinks it's me, I think. And then you just place your order. Then I get an email telling me that I have an order that I need to take care of. And I put it on the schedule if there is a conflict, because there has been 1 or 2 times that it's scheduled an appointment and,
Saturday afternoon when there's multiple realtors selling or signing.
yeah.
listings at the
And I
same
have to
time.
call you and tell you, we need to change the time or whatever. But it's very, very simple. And obviously you can still call me, you can still email me. I do have one, agent who texts me. I have had people go on Facebook and, try and schedule through Facebook Messenger on my personal account, which I don't check hardly ever because I'm never on Facebook anymore. So I don't suggest that, but, you can text, email, call, however, or this is really nice to do right in front of the buyer or the seller, I mean, and, they know what time without you even leaving their house. So. And it's pretty simple.
Any questions on this software? When we come back to show the back end, we'll review this again. The other thing which is really, really helpful for you is none of these classes matter because you can always call Dee directly or email her and she will set up your own personal Zoom, you and her, go over every last detail of this. Because there's a lot on there and we don't want you to miss anything, including this, but Dee, if you could just click on this plus quick. And go to 360tourdesigns.com. Put in your location. You will have to, we have, as I said before, we're a franchisor, so we have locations all across the US, so you have to pick your area. And then from there, it'll route you to the appropriate franchise. And then you see where it just guides you right back there. So that may be easier for you. We show you the portal because once you have it, it allows you to order. It allows you to have your photos delivered through it. It allows you to manipulate your photos in any way you want. It allows you to save all of your homes, for example, just because you want to look back at them or to know what your sales were for the year or to be able to have a printout for your tax accountant. We have that. It's all your history saved there. And then it's also how we bill and we pay. So it's all in one.
Do I have to have an account in the portal already set up to go online and set?
No.
Yeah.
I
I can go online and schedule,
Yes.
and then an account will be created.
correct.
Absolutely. Yeah, great question.
Another thing that is great about the portal is one of the main reasons we moved to this was because we were using Google Drive. And I was running out of space on my Google Drive, so I was having to delete photos after 6 months. I can't tell you the number of times that an agent has called me and said, hey, you did pictures for me 2 years ago. Do you still have them? No. Another thing was they were deleting the pictures in Google Drive. Well, that deleted mine too. Gone.
All of that's solved, so.
So
you have
this,
your photos for.
you have your photos always. You may have to call me because they do like go to sleep after a certain amount of time. So you may have to call me and say, hey, can you wake my photos up? That's their terminology. So that's why I'm using it. Wake my photos up. So that I can get them again, but you always have access to your photos. On your portal, so it's a great tool, you can go in there anytime, you can get your photos. You can download them, because I know that sometimes people have pictures taken and they, that person that bought the house comes back to you and wants to sell it at some point. So you have the photos already. Now, if we need to take more, that's fine, but you still have the original photos. Or it goes off the market and then they decide they want to resell, or I mean, they want to relist, then you have the photos. So there's a lot of things with the portal that are super important and nice about the portal.
What's the process like to get them from the portal onto the MLS? How's that done?
Okay, so when you go into your site media, see this one says wake my media up, so I have to wake it up. So give it a minute and then I'll be able to do it. When you get that email and it says download your photos, you download the photos. And I will be going over this when I come back. So you're going to the downloads page. And it brings this up. This you can download all of them in MLS file. You download it and then it'll give you a zip file. You need to unzip that file before you can upload them to MLS. You can also pick
Sorry,
the
can you
pictures.
go back just real quick? I just want to mention, the reason there's two here, obviously MLS has special sizing, but this is what you're gonna want to use for social media,
Right.
Kellerman's website, those kind of things, you know.
Down here, you can go and you can pick individual photos if you don't want all of them downloaded. And
Can
then,
you show them how easy it is to manipulate photos since we're sitting here?
yeah, I gotta go back.
Oh, you gotta go back, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I thought you could do it. right there.
All you have to do is take the photo and move it.
So manipulating inside our systems.
Also,
We try to put them in where we think you want them in, but they end up close, but everybody's got a different personality and how they like to present. So
not only that, the people that are doing it aren't in the house, so we don't know what the house looks like, because the photographers aren't doing this. On your photos, every single one of them will have these two buttons. You will not have the trash can. That's for mine. This is my back end, so that's why you're seeing it. But you have a star, you can make it yellow. That means that it's one of the pictures that you like. And when you go to download these, it'll put those starred ones in an individual folder, then this grades it out because it's one that you don't want to see. So when you download them, there'll be two different folders, one with the starred or one that has nothing on it, and then the ones with the grayed out.
a really good reason that that's there is a lot of times let's just say there's a huge tree in the front yard. We're gonna take that front exterior because we know that's the money shot for everyone, but you may not wanna use it. So then we'll shift over and take one here and shift over. So you may end up with three and you're like, why did you do all three of these? Well, we're just giving you options. And so, but you don't want all of those uploaded and it's easy just to turn them off. So. Did we answer your question? Yeah. Good.
Thank you.
And if you ever have problems, just give me a call and I can walk you through it too. It's pretty simple. It comes up extract all and their extract all is different than mine, it seems like, and so sometimes I have to FaceTime people and go, no, that button right there. So, but it is pretty simple.
Any other questions about scheduling? Any other questions about winning the listing?
Hey, thanks for lunch, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy to. I think, you can access me at any time through our website. But if you want, you're also welcome if you want to follow up and have lunch or chat more through the phone or text about, any questions you have with winning the listing or anything like that. I'm here. So. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, thank you all very much.
All right, we have a little bit of time before John's